Right, in the reverse of the opening day, Sheffield Wednesday are up next in the league. To help us preview that one, let's welcome James Mappin from the Wednesday Till I Die podcast. James, how you doing? All right, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me back on. Obviously, didn't disgrace myself too much last time, I guess.
I feel a lot has happened since we spoke, and that was only back in the summer. I think the last time we spoke, the chairman was asking fans for money to pay the tax bill, and you just had a new manager at the time. So what have you made of the start to the season? How's things working out?
Yeah, it's been up and down, I think, is the kind way of putting it. It's been crazy. You know, the first game of the season, obviously against you boys, we didn't quite know how bad it was going to be. But kind of, you know, we thought when we played you, yeah, you know, Premier League side just come down. It's going to be tough. We probably don't have much of the ball, and obviously that's kind of how it played out. Unfortunately, that's how we played in every single game in the first 10 games under Cisco Munoz. So, no, it's been absolutely awful. Although form's picked up of late, you know, new manager Danny Röhl come in, unproven. Obviously, you know him, of course, from his time at Southampton, and he's just kicked on. And you know, we're playing football that I didn't even think was even possible with the squad that we've got. And yeah, the performances. And now, well, the results, should I say, are now matching the performances because, you know, we're 3 on the bounce at the moment, which is the first time we've done that all season and first time since, you know, the back end of last season when we were in League One.
So what's he done then? Because obviously, as you say, you know, Danny Röhl, formerly of this parish, when he moved on, our form did drop a bit. And a lot of fans were saying, well, it's because he's gone and we should try and get him back. But there was always that kind of, yeah, he was a great assistant. Could he do it as a manager? But he seems to have worked wonders so far.
Yeah, the football that we play is totally different to what we were playing before. We were kind of just relinquishing possession, very much trying to play teams on the counter, but then didn't really counter-attack either. Whereas now, on the front foot, pressing from the front, you know, Bella-Kotchap has been leading the line. He's, you know, he won't give, if you like to pass the ball out from the back, he's on you straight away. But not only that, the pressing as a team as well, which I think's key. Like, it's all right, 1 and 2 people doing it, but we're doing it as a team, and we know when to do it and when not to as well. You know, not to burn yourself out. The thing that's been lacking is confidence. Like this season, I mean, look, when you go 10 games and you don't win a game at all, then confidence isn't exactly going to be very high. And you know, now I think he's just instilled that belief into the players that they can do it. Obviously, he's very analytical. He loves the numbers, XG. I know some people cringe when people say that word or that them 2 letters. Yeah, but he loves it. And you know, obviously the performances were getting better, the results were still, you know, we're still losing games when he came in, but he stuck with it. And I think that's down to, you know, other people on Twitter and what have you have looked and got, you know, the data is saying that we should be like a mid-table side, we should be picking up more points than what we have done recently. He stuck with it. And then now we're starting to see see those results come. And yeah, I've never seen a manager, or the fans take to a manager so quick. Literally, we'd won 1 game in 5, and we're all singing his name. You know, he's fist pumping at the end, walking, doing a lap of honor. It's mad. Like I said, I've never seen someone take to a fan base like he has, and it's great to see. You wouldn't think, if you didn't know where we were in the league, you think we were in the top 6, not, you know, in the relegation zone, 3 points from safety.
I'm glad it's working out. It's nice to hear, but there is a little bit of me that thinks, you know, what if? So are you playing with 4-2-2-2 like we did at Southampton when he was there with Ralph? Is that how they're setting up? What's the formation like every week?
It could be different every single week, to be honest. It's either a 4-3-3, although, however, the past couple of games it's been a 4-2-3-1, which I think has, you know, I think he needs to continue with that, to be honest. We've had players come back in. Momo Diaby, he played 20 minutes against Preston, which was, I think, 3rd or 4th game of the season. Got injured. He's only just come back. He wasn't named in the 25-man squad, so even though he was fit, he couldn't even play. Obviously, January the 1st come around, and he's been registered. He came off the bench and he played the full game in the FA Cup against Cardiff, and he is an absolute Rolls Royce in that sitting midfielder role. So I hope that we do continue with a 4-2-3-1, and we've got some fast, pacey wingers. You know, Bella-Kotchap has come out of the academy as well. He's scored, I think, three goals so far this season, and it's Yeah, it's looking a lot better, but he does change it as well. He doesn't, Hull went down to 10 men after 30 minutes, half time. He changed the system. He made a substitution at half time, and he's ballsy like that, which I like. I won't say he takes risks. I think they are all calculated risks because that's what type of person he is. But he's not one of those like, oh, see how it goes. If he sees something and he wants to change it, he'll change it.
I mean, that was a decent cup tie as well at the weekend. You must have been happy with that.
Mental. We kick off, score after what, 2 minutes, and you're thinking, what a fantastic start. I mean, we did field a fairly strong side, and by all accounts, Cardiff made quite a few changes. So you're thinking, well, it's going according to plan. And then literally they go down the other end, and it's a penalty, which, yeah, whatever. Cameron Dawson saves it, and then he saves another one 3 minutes later, which you're thinking, when they get the second one, you're thinking, God, it's going to be 1-1, but to save 2 penalties like that, I think he saved 7 out of 12, and he saved 3 of 4. He's already saved a penalty this season.
Did he put it the same way? I haven't seen them. Did he put it the same way?
It was a different taker.
Oh, right. Okay.
Someone else took it. One went to the left, and then the second one, Callum Robinson, put it to the right. And I don't know if you've seen the first one, but he saves it. I think he's like I don't know if it's his leg or it's an outstretched arm, and then he sat on the floor, and the ball just goes straight up in the air and just drops on his lap. So it was very, exactly perfect. But yeah, Cameron Dawson's had his critics this season, but certainly nobody can fault his ability to save from 12 yards.
And I mean, let's just talk about the league as well. It was, you put the cup to one side, but that was a decent win against Hull, I think, wasn't it, last time out in the league? So there's a bit of momentum there.
Yeah, like I said, 3 games on the bounce that we've won in all competitions. Yeah, going into that Hull game, and I took a point, to be honest. I think Hull absolutely battered us at their place, but we're a different beast, as they say now. Playing a lot more, a lot better football, totally different. Yeah, the red card swung it massively, but we were well on top before that red card, to be honest. And although they looked dangerous when they came forward, we had the ball was in their half a lot longer than what it was in ours. Obviously the red card just exaggerated that, but still, as you probably found out, over the seasons, playing against 10 men, it's not as easy as what it seems. Pressure gets put on you. The fans expect you to go on and win the game. And like I said, we made a change at half time, and to put 3 past them. All right, we didn't keep a clean sheet. Another penalty, by the way. After the 2 at the weekend, that's 9 penalties that we've conceded, and we've had a grand total of 0. So yeah, you might get a penty on
Adam
on
Armstrong needs to practice his penalties this week.
Yeah, you might get a penalty. I'm not saying you're going to score it, but you might get one.
well, maybe you can stick that in your prediction when we do those at the end. Alfie, we had James Ward-Prowse and Nathan Tella in the starting 11 last time, and to be honest, that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, doesn't it? That was weird because that was the last 8 minutes of the game when they I think, had 100% possession basically and played it all around. We were thinking this is going to be the easiest journey of a lifetime, and then obviously end up having to lose a few games and work a few things out. I'm actually quite interested in what you said there, James, because if you've got a sort of Claudio Ranieri style Tinkerman, then I think you might come to St Mary's and put sort of 10 men behind the ball, because every team that does that seems to have a chance. The ones that come and play like Blackburn and Swansea, they get torn apart, they get hammered. So if that's the way he's going to approach these games, he might do that and then make a change sort of last 10, 15 minutes, try and win the game. I don't know if that's something you see him do it.
Yeah, I mean, we have played different in all the games. It's not like the same way. I mean, look, we do like to play out from the back. I think every team likes to do that now. I think it's not a new thing anymore, is it? It's kind of it's weird when a team doesn't do that, to be perfectly honest. But when you look at the Preston game, the second half, I don't want to say part of the bus, because I don't think it was like that, but it was literally an onslaught from Preston. But we just dealt with everything that came our way. We were 1-0 up, and we were kind of happy to sit on that lead. I don't think Danny Rill would have said that. I think he probably wanted to play a little bit differently, but that's how it was. And the players were more than adequate in doing that. And yeah, I think he does like to. He does like to play football. I don't think we are just going to put 11 men behind the ball. I don't think that's his way of doing it. However, having said that, when we've got Masaba, we've got Gassama as well on both sides. Kadamatri's got, he's only 19-year-old. He's got a lot of pace. So when you add that to Josh Windass as well, who's been playing in that number 10 role, we can kind of sit in a little bit, and then all of a sudden we could could catch you on the counter, and we've now got that pace that they can keep up with the play. You know, in years gone by, you know, we haven't had pace at all, or if we have, it's just one player, and you know, they speed off, and no one is nowhere to be seen. But you know, we can actually break in numbers now, which is good.
It's going to be an interesting pressure and atmosphere, I suppose, for the players. I don't know how much they really read into it, but I think, you know, when you've got a club record that is 40 years older than Glen and it's 100 to 17, 18, 19 games, you want to break that, don't you? They've lined it up now so that they're going to be 20 in all competitions and 19 in the league, which is both of the records in the club's history if they just avoid defeat on Saturday. You'd like to think they'll be able to get over the line. I think Russell Martin's got them well drilled. They've got them focusing on their football rather than records and stuff like that. But it's a massive game for the club, isn't it, really? You have to, you know, you want to get that record. You want to get the next 2 games unbeaten, whatever happens. And you want that to be written in history.
And it would just be us if an ex-employee, someone that was on the payroll a couple of years ago, comes back and masterminds that. Steve, are you nervous about the Danny Roll side at St Mary's? Or are you excited to see what they bring?
I'm interested, certainly. I mean, they were very limited on that opening night, and yet they still nearly took a point from us. So it's, I mean, cliche, obviously, but there are very few easy games at this level. Each team offers different things that can hurt you if you're not on it, and we've shown against. I mean, we drew at home with Rotherham, of course. We've drawn against other sides who we would have expected to have won against fairly comfortably. Huddersfield, for example. Maybe it's just Yorkshire we've got a problem with. But yeah, I mean, when Wednesday have got bit of momentum built up, and the results are going favourably at the moment. So it's, yeah, I mean, they're a team in some decent form now. So it's not going to be easy. I do think that Roll might try to be a little bit more pragmatic than he would be if you were playing against one of the other teams sort of down near the bottom. But that doesn't necessarily have to equate to sticking everyone behind the ball and basically playing like Norwich did against us on New Year's Day, which was absolutely extraordinary, by the way. And yeah, I think, I mean, obviously it's a game that we should win, everything being equal, but you've got to go out and earn it. And I mean, of course, we're kind of lacking a few options, relatively speaking. I mean, it's going to be the world's smallest violin from fans of clubs with smaller squads than us. But Aribo's been in good form recently. Sam Adozi's been in excellent form recently, and both of those are missing. So yeah, we've got a couple of sort of selection dilemmas in attacking areas. But other than that, I think good to go, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Just in terms of how we might set up for this one, Glenn, we will get on to the Norwich game, unfortunately, before we finish. But does the Jack Stevens conundrum continue? Is that something which could potentially see us coming undone at the weekend? This shoehorning him in to a side and playing him at right back, perhaps, just to get him on the pitch from the start?
Yeah, I assume we were going to talk about that in the Norwich bit, but I hope not. I think Russell Martin's kind of alluded to the fact that was a bit of a mistake, because he basically picked Jack Stevens instead of Che Adams, and swapped it around to put players out of position to accommodate that. So I can't see him doing that in a home game, to be honest. Carl Walker-Peters is so much better when he plays in his natural position, and as much as he ever is, Che Adams is in decent form at the moment. You know, he's scoring goals on a fairly regular basis, so we just need him to wake up fully, and then we'll have a proper centre forward for the rest of the season, assuming he's not sold in January. So no, I can't see that happening again. I mean, I think he'll we'll go with the same formation. Ryan Fraser will take Sam Adozi's place, and it'll be one of Smallbone or Alcaraz to take the place of Joe Aribo. Other than that, I don't see there being sort of like a vast amount of changes from the last league game.
Do you think it'd be the same 9 changes or 9 changes again from the cup game, Alfie? I'm just trying to do the maths in my head. Presumably,
I can't do those numbers.
Presumably, Taylor Harbour-Bellis will start. Maybe Ryan Fraser.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be Bazunu, Walker-Peters, Howard-Bellis, Bednarek, Manning, Downs, Smallbone, Stewie Armstrong, and then the front three that Glenn said, Adams, Armour, and Fraser. It's a good side, isn't it, really, when you set it out like that? And I think even without Joe Rebo and Samadozia, like James will be sat there, I'm sure that there'll be loads of those players you'd love to have in the team. So there's no excuses for Saints, for sure. It's got to get the job done.
Do you think you got enough to stay up then, James? Have you seen enough the last couple of weeks?
Stay up. I've already booked me hotel for Wembley for playoffs. So yeah, I think
that's going to be quite a run.
Yeah, well, I might have to book it twice because FA Cup as well. Depending who we get, we might have to get to go all the way in that one as well. No, yeah, I think we've got more than enough to stay up. It's weird because you asked me that 2 weeks ago, and I would have said we're down and out. The gap was 9. We had a chance to bring it back to 3 points, and we were bleeding against Cardiff and lost that game, and then the game after we lose and everyone else won around us. So the gap like I said, went out to 9 points. The 2 games after that we've won. Huddersfield have lost them both. The gap's now 3. So it is really crazy stuff how things can change. But no, I think under Danny Röhl, there's still a lot of football left. I think we're getting a bit, looking and thinking, oh, we're never going to do it, but we're playing differently. We're playing a lot better. January is going to be massive. We haven't made any signings yet. It's the 7th of January now. I'm thinking that the reason why we haven't made any signings is the better players normally come later on in that window. The good players, the bad players, or the not as good players, should I say, normally leave straight away. So no, I think that I think January is going to be huge. If we can bring in the additional players that we need, then I think obviously we'll have more than enough. But yeah, it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think we'll have enough come the end of the season.
Can I get a score prediction from you before we let you go?
Can I have one with my head and one with my heart? Because
go for it.
Totally different. Yeah, my heart is saying that we could go down to St Mary's and carry this run on that we're on. Make it 4 wins out of 4, and perhaps beat you 2-1. My head is thinking that really you're probably going to have too much for us, to be perfectly honest. It might be a 2-0 win to Saints.
Okay, let me go around the screen just to get the other guys. Steve, score prediction?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's going to be one of those ones where we might have to wait, be a bit patient, wait to the second half, and we've done this a lot this season, haven't we? Where we've broken teams down late in games, needed to be a little bit patient, wait for legs to tire on the opposition, and then use the quality that we've got coming off the bench. But yeah, I think the score James has come up with is probably about right. 2-0 win.
Okay, Glenn.
I mean, I don't see Wednesday being anywhere near the bottom, to be honest. Nowhere near the worst. Even that first game of the season, I don't think they're anywhere near one of the worst sides that I've seen this season. Mind you, I said the same about QPR, but since they played us, they've lost about the last 3 games. So, I think it'll be a tough game. I mean, I don't know what sort of teams you've been playing on your recent run. I don't know how you've got on against, the likes of Leeds, Leicester, Ipswich, the sort of like top end teams.
Leeds, we played them at the start of the season with Cisco. That were 0-0 at their place. Leicester, we 1-1 draw, last minute equaliser at home. The 3 that we played Preston, and that was a 1-0 win at Deepdale. Then it was we played Cardiff just gone, and it was Hull the game before that. Yeah. So but Hull went down to 10 men.
So I think without being arrogant about it, I think we're a step up from what Wednesday have been playing in the last sort of few weeks, especially at home. We seem to have got our home form sorted out. I mean, 3 out of the last 4 games we've scored, 4-4-5 sort of thing. So so I'm quite confident of the run continuing, but I think Wednesday will give us problems. So I'll go 2-1 Saints.
Okay, and Alfie to complete the set.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Boxing Day match where you went to Coventry and lost 2-0 as a marker. I think that when Saints went to Coventry, it was a relatively even match, so I'll go for a 2-0 as well. Copy Steve and James.
Okay. If anyone's watching on the live stream, James, are you okay? Because it looked like the Grim Reaper was just sneaking in the room behind you. We saw like the shadow on the wall. But are you okay? Are you all right?
I am absolutely fine. Yeah, we're recording our podcast in about 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, just guests arriving, or should I say,
Complete with
co-hosts
the
arriving.
creaking door as well. That's why I was just a little bit worried about you. I mean, you never know.
I did say to him, be quiet beforehand, but can't help the door.
Well, we might end up drawing each other in the FA Cup. So, I won't say that's it for this season because you never know. We might get you on again. But thanks for coming on.
No
Good
problem.
luck with Danny Roll as well. And enjoy the weekend.
Great stuff. See you guys.
Cheers, James.
James.
Thank you.
James.